Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. My name is Joe Tate, and this is HeelBook Unleashed. Today is an exciting day because we are launching a fresh AEW chapter, Chapter 11, Full Gear. We're starting the build fresh from scratch. You guys have a chance to book and earn a lot of points for your bank today, so go ahead and check the show notes for the link. Sign up for free to play the app along with us, and you can start booking today. We're going to go straight over into the game and see what we have lined up for tonight. All right, guys, this is it. This is one of the fun things about an AEW chapter on HeelBook. And we can get into more specifics in other shows, and I'm sure that we will, but there's stark differences between AEW and WWE, the way they produce, the way they distribute their content, and that's going to be fairly evident. If you guys have been following along, you'll see that Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown usually have 2-3 matches announced. They like to unfold their stuff sometimes live on the show, which is fun for viewers, but it gives us here at HeelBook less chance to earn some points. But as you can see, today, AEW Dynamite, we've got 5 big matches to book and earn some points on, and you gotta love and respect the effort that AEW goes to put out what they're putting out, right? To get the fans excited about what they're gonna see, and that's just a different approach than some other feds, and that's okay. But for us here on HeelBook, it actually benefits us quite a bit. So we're gonna go through these, right? First matchup tonight, we have Mercedes Moné taking on Queen Aminata. Now, this is one of those situations where it might be an easy choice. We all think that probably Mercedes might win this match, but again, it comes to how and what story beats are we going to see unfold from that finish. Is there going to be distractions, interruptions, trickery or cheating to win? Like, those are the fun variables to think about when you're making your picks. Up next, we've got Jay White taking on Christian Cage. Now, this is a fun one. We're just coming out of AEW Wrestle Dream last week. And by the way, I am the chapter champion for Wrestle Dream. I'm not trying to rub it in. It's just a facts, right? But Jay White making his return and sneaking a surprise victory over Hangman Page, which, by the way, I hedged my bets on Jay White winning that match. So I bet 100 points on it, and no one else touched that match. And if they did, the ones that did assumed that Hangman Page would come away with the victory. But I had an instinct that said the way that they're bringing Jay White back, and I just feel like the way they were building with him before he went out on injury, I think he needed that win. And I think AEW needed him to get that win. And so he did get the win, and I got the points, and that's what crowned me the champ. But tonight's a little different because Christian Cage is and has been in the main event scene at AEW for some time, and he's kind of a little bit like the benchmark there. He is what he is, man. He's a legend, and he's the best doing it in the game right now in terms of like heat-seeking heel work. Christian is the guy. So for me, I have to wonder with the recent developments of Luchasaurus, aka Killswitch, and his health, and obviously we wish him the best in his recovery. So without him being in the picture with Christian Cage, he still has some help, right? But where is this going to go? What are we doing with Jay White and Christian Cage? This is going to be a hard one to actually book. And moving on to the next match, we have a trios tag match. We have Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Rocky Romero taking on Okada and the Young Bucks. This is another one. Like, this match is going to be amazing. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fast paced. It's going to be hard hitting, and it's going to be that style of match that we expect from the guys that are involved in this, and that's perfect. The question is, can Okada and the Young Bucks take a loss right now with the way things have been unfolding for them? A lot of people are pretty upset that they're still the tag team champions, speaking of the Young Bucks, but that's a personal kind of preference, right? The Young Bucks, at the very least, they always put out quality matches that are fun to watch. Booking aside, if you're here for the action, they're delivering. Now, with Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Rocky Romero, the conglomeration, it's like these guys can do no wrong. They can take a loss and it not really affect their popularity or anything like that. So This is going to be another hard one to call because it literally could go either way. And not knowing what AEW has in store for any of these guys, it did seem to me like Orange Cassidy, after having that talk with Jerry Flynn, that Orange Cassidy is. I think he's going to go through an evolution, a metamorphosis. I think he's going to add depth and dynamic characteristics to his character. And I think that's going to be fun to watch. And I really believe we're going to start seeing elements of that unfold tonight. So keep that in mind when you're making your picks, and just try to decide where they're going with this thing. Up next, we have FTR taking on Big Bill and Brian Keith from the Learning Tree. This one is going to be really fun to watch, and it's going to be a hard one to call because I look at it and there's no way there's not going to be some sort of shenaniganery, right? Like something's going to go down. It's going to lead us to our finish, and I'm curious to see what that's going to be. But I kind of believe that FTR is likely to go over just because they're FTR. And then, guys, the last match, and one I assume to be the main event, is Shelton Benjamin versus Lio Rush. Lio Rush just signed a new contract for AEW. So too has Shelton Benjamin. And we've all seen what's going on with Shelton Benjamin, MVP, Swerve Strickland, the anticipated arrival of Bobby Lashley, and what form any of this stuff's going to take, right? So the way that they set up last week has me super excited for Swerve Strickland and Shelton Benjamin to lock up. But before we get there, we're going to get Shelton versus Lio. Clash of styles, to say the least. One thing that is unquestionable is that these guys' athleticism and skill in the ring is going to make for a banger main event. And I'm going with Shelton Benjamin. I don't think that's a tough pill to swallow, but I know that Leo's going to deliver a hell of a match, and it's going to be probably the match of the night. And I hope that it's the main event. If it's not going to be the main event, it should at least open the show. All right, guys, I want to give a quick thank you to everyone who has signed up and started playing with us on the app. I really appreciate you guys. Most of the people that have that started with the beta on the paper version and the spreadsheet version have migrated now over to the app. I super appreciate you guys. Thank you for helping me build this thing. And before we end today, I want to take a quick look at a couple of the ways that you guys can engage with us and help support the show. We're going to go straight over now to the Ko-fi page. This is kind of like a Patreon account, right? But it's kind of their competition. But Patreon has a lot of fees and stuff like that. And this, to me, Ko-fi was a way easier and more user-friendly and simple way to support the show. So you guys can come here to this site. I'll leave the link down below, and you can come in here and check out what we've got going on. You can help us raise a little money to keep making improvements to the app, which helps me, which helps you, which helps the community. So that's always fun. Just come in here and take a peek around at ways you can help. You can set up a one-time donation, a monthly recurring donation, anything you guys want to set up to help us here at the channel is much appreciated. And then also, if you want to get some swag, you guys can head over to the Teespring shop I have set up for HeelBook. Right now, we only have one design here for the show, but here you can see it. You can support us in style by purchasing one of our official HeelBook Unleashed t-shirts or hoodies. These do come in different color schemes and things like that. You can take a look, peek around. And if you guys like what you see and make that purchase, we'd very much appreciate it here at the show. Okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning into the show, and be on the lookout for our next episode Friday covering SmackDown. And also be on the lookout for an entirely new show, HeelBook Universe, going to be launching soon. HeelBook Universe is going to be a place where we cover everything, including the world of wrestling, but not limited to. We're going to be talking about movie, music, fiction, books, games, all the things that we love. So be on the lookout for HeelBook Universe. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.